Alrighty, folks. Coming at you guys today with the update version 1.7 patch notes. We just got these released. This patch is coming out the 22nd, this coming Tuesday. Gonna be an exciting one. Finally, we get a patch notes image where the marketing team had something more exciting to show us than an over-sexualized skin. Love the legacy map picture. Let's get right into these. I have not looked through these patch notes yet. Gonna try to go through them quick for you. I feel like I say that every time and then I still yap for like an hour. But let's go through them. They don't look incredibly big. A lot of this space that you see over here on the scroll bar is taken up by this new Hero Renna. We'll go over her very briefly, but let's dive right into this one. Hello champions, yada yada. Here's a glimpse of what's coming your way. The brand new Hero Renna, gonna be exciting. The sister of Yurei. Fingers crossed we see some Yurei nerfs down here in the hero balance section. Man, we really need them bad. Timestamps below as well if you just want to skip to a specific part. We're going to go down through the entire patch notes top to bottom here. But if you're just looking for the hero balance or the item balance or whatever's in here, I haven't even looked through this yet, so you can find those timestamps down below. So the brand new Hero Renna, the grand return of Agora to part of the Pred Labs initiative. This is coming in the form of Legacy. Gonna be exciting to see how that pans out. A lot of people are looking forward to it. Hopefully it can bring a lot of old Paragon players back as well. Various polish and quality of life improvements, a fresh round of balance changes, Yurei nerfs for the second time in a row, and more. Let's dive in. So Renna, we got to see her reveal trailer, and we got to see some gameplay of her in the version 1.7 dev stream. You can check out my breakdown and highlights of that dev stream. I'll put the thumbnail up here, and you can find the link below if you did miss that dev stream, but it was a pretty short stream. They didn't have too much to show us. Here's Renna, her ability overview. I have not watched this video yet. I'm not going to watch all 3 minutes of it here. We'll just read through her abilities, but this video will be linked below as well if you want to see some Renna gameplay footage, but we'll read through the kit here. So it's standard mage stat block, I'm assuming here. Kind of hard to get a reference if we don't have the other stat blocks right next to it. Abilities, her passive is a scaling passive. Entities that die near Renna have a 50% chance of leaving behind their essence. It can be consumed by moving nearby. Heroes always leave behind essence. Essence enhances Renna's abilities directly, and then also she has a slow hover down if you hold the jump button. So yeah, that looks pretty cool right there. And then if she kills something, that's what the essence looks like. Move near it to pick it up. So pretty straightforward. The essence is going to be, I think, infinitely scaling. We'll read her other abilities and see how the essence empowers them, basically. Ranged basic attack, 60% physical power scaling. Pretty standard for a mage. Nothing too crazy there. Her primary ability, Mortal Coil, on a reasonably long cooldown here, with pretty reasonable cost. This is not a short cooldown or a cheap ability. Launches a soul orb that deploys upon contact with the hero. Once deployed, the soul orb attaches to nearby enemy units, pulling them in and dealing damage with 60% scaling over 4 seconds. Renna also heals off of that damage. Reduced to 10% against hero minions and monsters. If enemy heroes or minions take damage from the soul orb while below 8%, scaling up, plus 1% per 25 essence, they are executed. Wow, that is a huge execute range. I believe before this was 10% plus 1% per 25, now it's 8%. That's still a massive execute range. And then essence effect mortal core damage radius is increased by 1% for every 10 essence. Oh my gosh, so this gets double scaling. This gets execute threshold scaling per essence and increased area of effect or radius per essence. That is pretty absurd. So yeah, this looks... Whoa, okay. So it's actually like a mini Gideon black hole. I was expecting this to be more like an Argus crystal where it pulls at the end, but this is actually like a mini Gideon black hole with a massive execute range attached to it. This hero is overpowered. I don't even have to read the rest of this kit. This hero is overpowered. We knew this hero was overpowered before we read any of the kit because that's how they release heroes. But that ability alone is, I mean, shout out to the playtesters, I guess, for directly lying to a meta and telling them that was a good idea. Stupor, I'm assuming this is the Mez. Again, a fairly long cooldown, flat cost. Renna leaps upward and floats in the air as she prepares to launch a ball of demonic energy upon reactivating or after 1.35. Renna releases the ball. The ball of energy explodes upon making contact with an enemy or terrain, dealing fair damage with okay scale, not actually pretty bad scaling to be fair, and mezzing the target for, fairly long mez. Over a second mez at every rank going up to 1.25. Stupor deals an additional 1% of the target's current health as magical damage for every 15 essence. So yeah, we saw some of this. Yeah, so a ranged mez, very interesting. Very interesting. And a target current health damage, built-in target current health damage. Scaling pretty strong. Seems a little like it's overtuned. Seems like your playtesters lied to you about how fair and balanced this hero is. Shout out Yurei. Soulfire. Okay, so this is the multi-shot one. It's on the shortest cooldown. Similar cost to the other ones. Unleash 3 piercing waves of energy over 1.5 seconds that deal pretty low damage. Okay scaling, because it'll be times 3, which will actually be times more. And then Renna fires 1 additional projectile within the same duration, which is key, for every 50 essence she consumes. So yeah, we got to see this in the dev stream. Pretty straightforward. It's just a 3-shot projectile. It does pierce, so you got to keep in mind this is going to clear wave and hit heroes very effectively. 50, I mean... So 18, it starts out with 18% times 3 scaling, but realistically this is going to end up being 5-6 projectiles if it's a long game, because it's per 50 essence. So the scaling will actually be quite strong by the late game. And then Abyssal Rift, her ultimate, pretty standard cooldown and cost. Renna channels for a short duration before teleporting to her target location. So yeah, this starts with a blink, basically. Upon arriving, she summons an infernal singularity above her for 5 seconds. Okay, quite long duration here. Singularity unleashes projectiles at all nearby enemy units every 0.5 seconds, so a total of 10 projectiles is what you're getting out of this. Dealing pretty fair damage considering it's 10 projectiles and it's to all targets in the area. 15% magical scaling. And then its damage is increased by 50% against targets below 30% max health. Jeez, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Wow. And then Abyssal Rift duration is extended by 0.5 seconds for every 50 essence. So yeah, it gets a duration extend off of her scaling, which is quite interesting. This also has a massive AoE. This is a huge AoE. This is the size of full-size Gideon ult or full-size Gadget ult or bigger. It's kind of hard to tell from this. You see the range there, but it is a huge area. You could see it in the dev stream, filled the entire orb pit. So very interesting there. This hero is obviously blatantly absurdly broken. I mean, go ahead and put your hot take in the comments. Renna's not actually that strong. Nobody thinks you're cool for having the hot take. Let's get into the augments. So this is a utility support. Mortal Coil no longer executes enemies. Instead, ally heroes now also heal themselves when damaging targets inside Mortal Coil's effect radius at 100% of the original healing effectiveness. Okay, so it trades the execute for a teammate heal. That could be interesting. I don't see that being nearly as valuable as an execute. Even at support, I think I'd rather have something as broken as a 8+% health execute. Is you can't pass that up. Nether Ward, alternate is a shielding dueling. Upon using Soulfire, Renna gains a 40 plus 40% magical power shield for 2 seconds. I don't see that being that good. But it is decent scaling. Kind of turns her into a dueler, more like Shinbi, which is interesting. And then Void Essence, Gold / Sustain. When Renna picks up Essence, she gains 5. Oh my gosh. Who told him that this was a good idea? Who, like... Alright. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's Renna's kit. Good luck. I mean, have fun not seeing her in ranked, I guess, because this hero is obviously a must ban. Hop into your quick matches, hop into Legacy, and enjoy Renna. She looks incredibly broken, but will probably be a good time. We'll play around with her some. I'll probably make a spreadsheet soon here after her release, showing off how blatantly overpowered her release state is. That way, in the future, after she's got 3 or 4 nerfs, you guys can go back and check out the spreadsheet video, like I did for Terra, and marvel at how absurdly overpowered she was on release. But looking forward to Renna. It's going to be a fun one. Let's get into the rest of the patch notes here. First off, skins. Renna comes with a skin, of course, on release. The legendary Dynasty Iggy and Scorch skin, going to be an exciting one. Obviously going to be overpriced, but will be very cool. So, what is Zietchen Hunter Sparrow? That actually is a pretty sweet Sparrow skin. We'll take that for sure. Summer Fun Yurei. Okay, yeah, we needed Yurei with more revealing skimpy clothes on for sure. So we'll take that. Summer Fun Renna. Again, we needed to make sure we accentuate what people want to see, right? Mountain Forge Terra. Okay, I like that little dwarven plate kind of squared off axe. Sweet, as an uncommon. That'd be a cool one to pull out of a core for sure. Some bundles, some Summer Fun Mega Bundles. Shadow Ops VFX bundle. Okay. Interesting. Pricing updates. Okay, here we go. Now something kind of interesting. Constantly reviewing the pricing of our in-game items to ensure they offer the best value possible, while also considering the sustainability and longevity of the studio. Since releasing skin variants, we've also made it so you can purchase, equip, and play with them without needing to own the base skin. The reality of this meant that more rare skins could be grabbed at hefty discounts if you didn't mind an off color due to variants. In order to keep delivering new skins and the content quality we expect from predecessor, we've decided to make a slight price adjustment, specifically to skin variants. So yeah, skin variants. So this is the recolors. Skin variants can be purchased without owning the base skin. Base hero recolors will continue to be priced. Yep, the pricing change will only apply to new skin variants. New pricing for skin variants. Rare 400, epic 500, legendary 600. That's actually kind of reasonable. It's just for the variants though, so maybe the base skins will still be like the crazy prices. But okay, that's interesting. Game features. Alright, here we go. Legacy, folks. Introducing Legacy. Some of you asked for Agora. Some of you asked for a new map. In a way, you're getting... I mean, what is that? What kind of marketing... what kind of marketing? That just makes me cringe, dude. Agora is... You're getting a new map and an old map at the same time. Look how cool we are. Okay, whatever. Shout out to the marketing team for using ChatGPT to write your stuff for you. Thank you, Master Predecessor. Prove it on the brand new battlefield. Agora is vast and uniquely shaped. You can learn more about it here. What could this link possibly take me to? Okay, so yeah, it's just the Labs Legacy link that we've had. This page doesn't have any new information on it. We've had that page up for weeks now. But yeah, Legacy's coming, man. Gonna be exciting. Legacy Mechanics Breakdown. Here we go. This installment of Pred Labs several changes and adjustments compared to the version of the old days. The map and mode needed to be adapted for what predecessor is today. A hero shooter is what they meant by this. We took care to ensure that matches played on this game will meet our standards for how fair and fun they are. We want to make sure that the best team wins. We just want to make sure that it meets our standards for what we define as fun. So we're kind of shifting away from the MOBA mechanics to make sure we can get more team fights in. Some of the mechanics from the original map were not really contributing to this goal of playing a long duration MOBA game. So we chose to replace them with an alternative that, in our view, That's a key phrase right there. Makes more sense and still delivers the same sense of challenge and immersion. That said, many of these elements could evolve in the future. I mean, only if the marketing team decides that they should evolve, right? If you love this mode as much as you've embraced Nitro, who knows? You might become, who knows what might become of Agora. I mean, I don't know what the downside could possibly be to leaving it up as a full-time game mode, right? But whatever. With 1.7, we invite you to discover gameplay differences between Sanctuary and Legacy. Okay. Largely the same as standard. Normal jungle camps respawn slightly slower. That makes sense. It takes longer to get around to clear all of them, so that kind of makes sense. Original Legacy mechanics adjustments. Jump pads did not originally feature jump pads. We added them to each team's base to improve the flow. Yeah, I mean, jump pads were we're not there because we had travel mode, but I think this will be we've gotten accustomed to jump pads. They function well for keeping the game flowing. Travel mode, instead of travel mode, which in our view was not a particularly healthy mechanic, we made it so heroes gain 100, approximately 14% bonus move speed after being out of combat for 4 seconds. That, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what travel mode is. That's what travel mode was. That's what travel mode is. It just doesn't have a route when you get canceled out of it. After being out of combat for 4 seconds. Okay, I mean, we knew they were going to do stuff like this. They already talked about it, but it's nice to have a number associated with it. 14% bonus movement speed. Out of combat, we will take. That shouldn't completely turn it into a hero shooter by any means. Shadow pads, yep, shadow pads returning. You stand on these pools. You're invisible like Kalari. You can see other wards that are around the map, or you can see other heroes that are invisible near you while you're on them. Dealing damage to enemies while inside a shadow pad will reveal them. Wards and sentries will also reveal heroes in the shadow pads. You may also walk into the shadow pad to see if any other players are inside them. Yep. For OG Legacy players, shadow pads are not treated as a separate vision realm where you can see wards and other stealth units such as... Wait, what? Okay, so yeah, scratch what I just said a second ago. They are not treated as being in the realm where you can see stealth units and wards anymore. So interesting. Dunking zones. The dunk zones have been closed off. Yeah, you're not dunking orb anymore. Rest in peace to that. Harvester location camps. Instead of harvesters, we've added new camps of locations. Side lanes, a gold golem duo, or cyan golem. Yeah, so in the side lanes we got gold and cyan and teleporters now, which we did not have back in the day. Jungle, a small gold bug that grants global gold when killed in each quadrant. So yeah, instead of harvesters, we've got these little new gold bugs, which will be cool. Or pit, an enhanced gold bug that is tougher and grants far more gold than the gold bugs in the jungle. Okay. Gold bugs, they spawn prior to 3 minutes. Interesting. 40 gold plus 40 global gold. Not bad. And then enhanced gold bug, which it says orb pit. And it's where enhanced gold bug is interesting. And it grants 100 global gold with extra scaling. So interesting. Nitro. What about Nitro? After all, the entire idea behind Pred Labs was to frequently rotate and test experimental game modes. However, Nitro has proven to be incredibly popular with our hero shooter fans. Oh wait, no, they didn't write that. Hold on. Yeah, somebody else said that. With many players naming it as their preferred way to play, and our data backs that up. So we've decided to keep Nitro in its own standalone labs mode for 1.7. Oh, of course. If it brings 5 people from Rivals that only want to play Nitro, it's worth it. Leave it in. Let me say it clear. Nitro is staying! Yes! It's what everyone asked for! That said, we'll be closely monitoring the situation to ensure the health of the overall game and keep queue times reasonable. Nitro queue times are super fast anyway, so... audio improvements... We're not going to get a idea of what any of this means until we can hear it in game, but audio improvements. We've refreshed several sound effects to make them more satisfying. Blink sound, jump pad whoosh, level up chime, the sound of hunt crest. That's good because you pretty much can't hear hunt crest at all. We reduced the thumpiness of sounds of getting hit. Okay, Fangtooth and Orb. Now use... Oh, wait, what? While enemy steals it. So make a different sound when it's stolen versus when it's taken down, but I don't know what, it probably just means when it's taken. We added a sound, or maybe like when the enemy team gets it, I guess, that sound effect banner makes a different sound. We added a sound in the main menu for when you level up the battle pass. Okay. Cool, we'll see what all this sounds like. Looking forward to it. Main menu improvements, they showed off this new main menu in the dev stream. I mean, it looks decent. It's more indicators on the screen. You've got like your how close you are in account level. You've got how far you are in the battle pass on here now. You've got your daily core purchasable with one mouse over rather than having to navigate to it. And then you've got the new skins, so you can purchase your over-sexualized skins in a more convenient manner. Then they shifted the news tab to the bottom right. So, I mean, probably a better main menu, right? Ranked changes. This one is short and sweet, at least. The big, exciting reveal. Stay till the end of the stream to find out about it. It is 24/7 ranked permanently. It's about time that we got this. So, queue times haven't been too bad either on 24/7 ranked, so we'll definitely take this. It's about time, right? Gameplay balance changes. Dawnside no longer has the final ban in ranked draft. It's a bug fix, but I don't know how that would even happen, but okay, whatever. Okay, anyway, that's gameplay balance changes. That's going to do it for all of the legacy, all of the nitro, all of the main menu, UI stuff, sound effect stuff. That's going to do it for all that. Some exciting stuff, some new skins. We're looking forward to legacy, man. It's going to be fun. We're going to make the most of it and try to enjoy it as we've been enjoying Pred all this time. We'll see. It's going to take some gameplay before we really figure out how all of this flows. But very minimal changes. I like that just one movement speed change out of combat. We're not calling it travel mode, but it's essentially the same functionality as travel mode. So we'll see how that feels. Let's get right into the hero balance changes. Looks like there's not too many of them, so let's go through them here. There's only a couple heroes, in my opinion, that are really outliers right now in the meta, so we'll see what they've done. Argus. Mana Catalyst, this is his best augment, in my opinion. Hero damage mana restored increased. Quite nice. It's already, 10% is like realistically already enough, but that's going to be really crazy. And then Dread Nova, cooldown decreased. Wow. So yeah, Argus, easier to use, shorter cooldown on the stun. We'll take it. Boris, given how difficult it can be for Boris to navigate team fights, I've never heard that one before. Attack speed increased. His roar, his fear damage reduction increased. Wow, I thought this was too strong already. Interesting. And then his ultimate, target bonus health damage increased. So better target health scaling. Wow. Okay, boy, I thought Boris was in a pretty decent spot right now, so we'll see if may make him a little bit better. Countess added an offlane. Okay, yeah, no kidding, right? Blood Tithe passive, max health true damage decreased. Okay, good. This was still way overpowered. And then Blade Siphon, monster bonus damage increased. Okay, so yeah, faster clear early, faster farm early when you're taking that Blade Siphon. Less oppressive max health true damage. Keep in mind this is true damage, so this is really annoying against tanks. But yeah, we'll take that on Countess. I mean, she's already in a great spot, so like it's not like she needed any sort of improvement. Well, we would have just taken the nerf, but we'll take the faster clear early, I guess. Decker, stronger slow. Alright, respect the beam. Shout out respect the beam enjoyers. Containment fence, cooldown decreased. Oh my goodness. Okay. Decker enjoyers rejoice. And then Ion Strike secondary, which is... that's Supposed to say ultimate. Oh man, y'all gotta proofread this stuff, man. Like is best. That's my main question. Is best not the standard? Like truly, is best not the standard? Do you not have some sort of interns on staff that will proofread this stuff? It just makes you look less professional. Ion Strike, which is the ultimate, not the secondary. Damage increased by a significant amount late game, but you're not building pin on Decker, so it's not a big deal. Either way, Decker enjoyers rejoice. This is nice. This is a nice set of buffs for her. Drongo, Smog Therapy, healing decreased. We knew it couldn't last, right? The Drongo's healing grenade has been absolutely insane. I've been going top healed with it every single game, building the huge power build. It's decreased. It's actually increased by 10 at the beginning of the game, but decreased by 40 at the end of the game. So pretty fair. The scaling on this is what really makes it strong anyway. So maybe you're not leveling this. Maybe you're just trying to use your scaling and you're not leveling the grenade anymore. Feng Mao. What have they done to Feng? His safeguard cooldown increased on the bubble by 2 seconds at the late game. Wow. Okay. That's pretty long cooldown. Hamstring. Isolate target bonus damage. Power scaling reduced by a little bit. Okay. And then his ult. Physical power scaling decreased. Execute scaling decreased. Execute pin increased. Okay. Good trade-off. Good trade-off on the ult. Reward me more for building that flat pin, because it ain't going to come into effect if I execute him anyway, so give me a bigger execute range for building it. Makes Assassin Feng Mao fun. Gideon. The Abyssal Mantle augment, the shield magical power scaling decreased from 100 to 75. It was pretty oppressive to get that big of a shield, especially when you're comboing it with True Silver. Cosmic Rift, cooldown increased. Okay, we get it. Void Breach. Cooldown increased. Alright. I mean, really? Black Hole, cooldown increased. Okay. Was Gideon really that big of a problem that we had to nerf arguably his best augment and then his cooldowns across his entire kit? Like, was he really that big of a problem? Greystone, he's got to get some nerfs, right? Continues to act as a wall in off lane. Alright, whatever. Health decreased, that's starting health, it's probably not noticeable. Blade of Stone secondary, cooldown increased by a second. And then slow increased as well, though, by 2%, whatever, that's not going to be noticeable. The cooldown, a second longer cooldown, if you're trying to spam it in fights, maybe it is noticeable. Assault the Gates, damage decreased. Ult cooldown increased in the early game by 10 seconds, probably won't be noticeable. Greystone still just easy to use, fun to use, good to get value with. I don't think this hurts him too much. Probably not too much, right? Grim. Grim's general ability to dish out tons of damage has increased. Wow, why would that happen? We only reduced everyone's magic armor. So System Restore, missing health. So this is when you... the missing health restore augment when you use your bubble effectively has been reduced. The instant reload augment fixed an issue where the instant reload would grant a reset for a short duration after hitting the target if they died. Okay. And then assault mode, attack speed per stack decreased in the late game by 0.5%. This is not noticeable changes at all here. This is literally you couldn't even tell these if you didn't read them. Siphoning Purge. Okay, here we go. Kira's ult. Healing increased from 15 to 20%. This is better. The ult augment, the whole healing augment on Kira was completely useless. Maybe with 20% it's more useful now. Probably not. You probably still want the other augments are significantly better on her. Chimera, he's still too good, right? He's always been too good. Physical armor decreased. Unleash, total physical power scaling decreased. Oh man. Wait, by 1%? By 4% at the beginning of the game and 1% at the end of the game. Okay, interesting. And then ambush cooldown increased by 1 second at the beginning of the game. I mean, he's still strong. But yeah, less threatening for the first 10 minutes, maybe. I mean, 5% less scaling on Unleash in the early game and a second longer cooldown on his jump. I guess we'll do that. Quang, ally Omnivamp decreased from 5% to 4%. This was a strong augment. Heavenly Tactician, ultimate cooldown reduction decreased from 20 to 15. Again, this was a good augment. Strike at the Heavens. Max stacks of attack speed granted decreased. Okay, that was a bug fix. I never experienced 5. That's kind of crazy. Judgment of the Heavens. Damage decreased. Magical power scaling decreased as well. Really? Quang needed that big of a nerf? Alright, alright. If you say so. And then his ultimate damage decreased. I guess Quang did need a nerf. He does feel strong right now. You do see him a lot, but I don't know about all this. I don't know about all that. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Morgash, can we just like get her out of the game already? Movement speed decreased. Physical power or physical armor decreased. And then Mark, healing decreased. Okay, that was good. That's good. Mana cost increased. Good, good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with any nerfs Morgash gets. So, she's already like a terrible mage, especially at high ranks. But hey, if you want to stomp some noobs with her, or completely bully someone in solo lane, grab her, man. I know you're gonna have a good time. Morn, the Eclipse augment fixed an issue where damage would always be at level 1. Okay, that's a good bug fix, I guess. Attack speed increased on him. Attack speed growth increased on him. Interesting. Passive. Damage now scales with 8% bonus health. Okay. That should be a lot then, right? Because you're probably building massive health on him. Bonus attack speed while extract is available increased. Wow, okay, so that's interesting. His augment increases effectiveness in jungle. Yeah, sounds like it. His augment that gives him faster resetting of his passive sounds like it would be really strong in that case. Okay. Murdoch, the shotgun cooldown decreased by 2 seconds in the early game. Interesting. He feels like he's in a good spot. I don't know if he really needed that. Narbash, attack speed growth increase. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Why are they trying to buff Jungle Narbash? Better allowed to flex into the jungle role. Never thought I'd see the day where they actually support Jungle Narbash, but that is a massive attack speed growth. I mean, that's an extra, which is 0.9 growth. So, I mean, significant extra attack speed by the end of the game. It's interesting there. Rampage, King of the Jungle, his passive heals, max health regen decreased to 0.1 plus 0.0, so yeah, just a little bit less at the start. I mean, yeah, that is kind of a significant amount at the beginning of the game. And then his Pounce gets a 2-second shorter cooldown. Nice, nice. That'll help Rampage be a little bit more aggressive. Richter fixed an issue where Brutal Trans would grant its cooldown reduction when hooking the target at close. It wasn't supposed to do that? Would not grant. Okay. Let's say it should always grant the cooldown. I thought that was the whole point. Health growth decreased. Electrocute movement speed decreased. That was fun though. Ultimate damage decreased just by 10. So not a big deal there, but interesting. Just slight adjustments to Rick. He is a little strong right now. Sevrog, what have they done with my boy? Souls granted. This is from when you dash through someone with the Unholy Pursuit aug. Increased from 2 to 3. That's good because this was a terrible augment. Grim Harvest execute threshold increased from 5 to 6. Again, good augment. Colossal below base increased knockback distance decreased from 25 to 15. This was the best augment. It was probably due to take a little bit of a tune down. Starting health reduced, health regen reduced, attack speed increased reduced. Is passive tier 1 Omnivamp decreased from 10 to 8. God, why do y'all gotta nerf my boy? I know he's fun and good, but hey, build Sky Splitter against him and you'll cook him. Shinbi's lack of crowd control makes her difficult to slot into. That is the point, right? That's the point. She doesn't have the crowd control that other solo laners or junglers have. That's what makes her different. She trades it out for maneuverability, escapability, universal ult range. You know, that's how trade-offs work. Shield magic power scaling increased. She needed more shield scaling? Magical power scaling increased on the rushing beat too. Okay, whatever, sure. Shinbi's still very comp dependent. Great split pusher though, probably even better now. That shield is oppressive, man. Getting that shield scaling off physical power means you can build full power and still have great survivability. Sparrow, she was due for some tune downs, huh? Health decreased. Hail of Arrows fixed an issue where Hail of Arrows would execute minions at a threshold higher than intended. Okay. Heightened Senses cooldowns increased by a second. Piercing Shot damage decreased by 20 late game. Ult, Center Arrow, reduced scaling. Side Arrow, reduced scaling by 2% each. Still a fun... I mean, this doesn't seem like it affects her much at all, right? Still probably a top 3 carry just because the ult is so crazy. This little scaling change doesn't really make a big difference. Steel needs nerfs, man, to be honest with you. He's just kind of crazy. Or at least make him scale a little bit differently. Bull Rush damage reduction decreased by half, okay. Still going to be a really strong augment. Health growth, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Health growth decreased, physical armor growth decreased, attack speed growth increased. Yeah, these two, that's what I'm talking about. Just make them scale a little bit differently. It's passive, max health shield decreased. Okay, again, that sounds balanced. Shield bash damage decreased by a significant amount late game. Max health damage increased. Okay, that's a good trade-off. Cooldown increased by half a second. Not bad. Shield slam damage decreased as well. Okay, so we couldn't find the Terra banner, so we just threw an entire full-sized image of Terra in here. Interesting. Didn't have time to get somebody in the Photoshop for that one, I guess. Since her last round of changes, Terra has emerged as a dominant force in offlane. I wouldn't really say dominant, but she can bully in solo lane if you're good with her. Just you got to be skilled with her somewhat. Physical power decreased, health growth decreased, physical armor growth decreased. Basic attacks get 5% less scaling. That's probably fair. That kind of is more in line with most of the other solo laners. Highland Hurl cooldown changed to 2 seconds shorter early, 1 second longer late. Projectile speed increased. That's good. We'll take that. And then her ult duration decreased. Why do we have to keep nerfing her ult? And cooldown increase. I don't know what. They've nerfed her ult like 35 times. I guess, I mean, this probably brings Terra down a little bit. If you've been enjoying Terra, I feel bad for you, man. Shout out Mandarin. I got to watch him play a really good Terra game the other day, and he got to see me play a little bit of Terra. Not nearly as good as him recently, but it's a shame they got to do Terra dirty like that. I thought she was in an okay spot. Wukong. Stack timer increased from 5 seconds to 5.5 on his extra clone augment. Health decrease. Bonus physical power scaling on his basic attack decreased to 80. High impact does 30% less damage to minions. That's an odd one, right? Cycle breaker damage decreased. Damage reduction decreased as well. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Wind charge cooldown increased by a second early, same late, and then his ult, clone damage, total physical power scaling decreased, clone max health decreased. Wow, what is going on? I didn't know Wukong had it like that, man. Jeez, I guess, wow, Wukong just needed nerfs across his whole kit. That's interesting. I wouldn't have said that, but Yin, physical power increased at the beginning of the game by 5. We'll definitely take. Then Lash Kick. Well, this is only by 4. Damage increased by 10. I don't think that really changes much. Yin is still like the hero that if you get a couple items online and you're ahead of the enemy jungle, you just sweep late game because she's basically a carry. But you just got to play safe till you do get those items on. Oh, Yurei. Let's see what kind of buffs Yurei got. Missing health healing modifier decreased. Good. The healing on her just absurd. Severance soul health decreased. So this is bonus damage when they have the soul floating around them. From 10 to 9. Whispering Echoes cooldown increased by half a second. And then the ult final strike damage decreased by 50 and slow. There we go. There's something meaningful. Finally, we get to the very end before we hit something meaningful, and it is a slow decrease from 30 to 20%. That probably makes her ult feel a lot more reasonable. Yurei continues to be a powerhouse on the battlefield. Okay, alright, whatever. Yeah, Yurei has been way too overpowered. Even after that first round of nerfs, we all knew she was overpowered, so that'll do it. The biggest ones I'm seeing are kind of surprising set of Wukong and Terra nerfs. Reasonable steel nerfs. Sparrow, very minor nerfs. Sevrong, some adjustments to his Augs and some minor nerfs. Not too many of these are super impactful. Morn and Narb, potentially getting some random jungle buffs. Not a bunch of super crazy ones. A lot of these are really minor. Gideon getting mysterious nerfs across his kit. I didn't know Gideon was that big of a problem right now. Decker, actually, I'm very happy with these Decker buffs. I think Decker moves into a better spot here off of these Decker buffs. They look kind of strong. Countess, slight adjustments. Boris getting buffs. I think Boris is already good too, so I don't really know why he gets those buffs. But that's going to do it for the hero changes. Let's get into what I'm assuming is the item balance changes. Yeah, here we go. Item balance changes. Hunts, let's wild hunt. Monster burn bonus physical armor scaling increased. Wait, what is this? Hunts, oh, okay, this is the free true damage that you get from having Hunt in the jungle. Monster bonus magical armor scaling increased. So yeah, extra true damage from Hunt. From Hunt's burn damage. Interesting. Crest, purifying rage, tenacity, duration decreased. Okay. Less free tenacity after you hit your Brutalix. Judgment. Healing bonus physical power scaling decreased. Ortis. Limit breaker movement speed increased. Okay. Limit breaker duration decreased. Limit breaker takedown cooldown duration decreased. So a little bit extra move speed with Ortis is good. Since the nerf to it a while back, it's not really been as favorable. Tranquility. Grace magical power scaling increased. So this is the heal. Getting a little bit better scaling. We'll take that. And that's it for the crest. Let's get into the items. Carry, Ashbringer. Okay, so it looks like very minimal item changes here because there's only one of each of these so far. Ashbringer, non-hero cooldown reduction decreased. Okay, that's kind of fair. Sonic Echo. Duplicity number of attacks increased. Let's go, man. Sonic Echo. Sonic Echo with the surprise. I'm a big fan of Sonic Echo. I have a good time building this on a lot of different heroes. 2 to 3, it doesn't really matter. You're still using an ability, usually every 2 autos anyway. So, Aug, ability haste decrease. We knew it was coming, right? We knew it was coming. At last patch, they nerfed a bunch of these haste and health items. Aug apparently was due for another one. We can't even just make it 15. We've got to take it to 16. Quite interesting. Basilisk receiving haste. Wow, so why would I not just always build Basilisk then now? Armor shred and haste and move speed? Wow, yeah, that's pretty crazy. The Basilisk would get 20 haste. Earthshaker. Wow, its stacks are being increased to 15. It's almost as if they were 15 before and they got nerfed to 12. So yeah, they're just reverting that. It was a long time ago though, right? That there was 15, but okay. Gaia Greaves. Plus 6% bonus health scaling added. Okay. Okay, so they're giving Gaia Greaves less power or less damage and physical power scaling for some bonus health scaling. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun for tanks. Get an extra health scaling item. Miss Meadow Buckler, physical power increased to 45. Nice. Not getting built too much, but when the comp justifies it, I do still like Miss Meadow a lot. It's pretty strong. Overlord, Colossal Blow Cleave, max health scaling increased from 2.5 to 3. Is that just on the cleave? Yeah, it's just on the cleave. It's not on the other scaling. Fair. True Silver, magical power decreased. It's almost as if you just increased this and realized it was a bad idea. True Silver, yeah, it's strong on a lot of mid laners that could get you good use out of it, like Gideon. So, I mean, I get it. It's cheap. So you probably shouldn't have it be that powerful. Ella Frost, 60% more damage to monsters. Okay, if you want to build this in jungle, okay. Slow increase, okay. Wow, a pretty significant slow now. Slow duration increased, wow. Okay, so a very significant slow. The return of Ella Frost, fingers crossed. The return of solo lane Ella Frost could be quite fun. To build Ella Frost. Oh, Abyssal Gift healing increased to 20. We were supposed to buff anti-heal, not buff the heal bonus items. I think they got the wrong memo. What? Why would you do this? Crazy. Wow, as far as highlights of the item changes, Ella Frost, massive buff to Ella Frost, particularly in jungle, but also just the slow associated with it is quite strong there. Gaia Greaves switching it up for some health scaling, Earthshaker returning to its former glory, Basilisk taking 20 haste. And that's about it. Psionic Echo getting an extra auto, Og getting a decent nerf there. And that's about it for the big ones. Realistically. Interesting. We'll definitely be trying out some Ella Frost solo lane. Basilisk and Earthshaker combo going to be quite strong. Returning to their former glory. Returning to the bone splitter days. So yeah, that's it for the item changes. Let's see what kind of goobery note they've wrote here at the end. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. We hope you enjoy everything this update has to offer. With Renna and Legacy, there's no shortage of new things to explore and experiment with. But the Ashes of the Dam season isn't over yet. One more major update is still to come, and it's unlike anything that's come before. Stay tuned. I mean, who knows what they mean by that, to be honest with you. Let us know what you think on Reddit, Discord. Until next time. Nice. Good. As far as an overview of what I think about this patch, I think this is some very interesting item balance changes that I really didn't expect. We'll see how they pan out. I don't think it's too many major changes. Some much needed Yurei nerfs. Some surprising Wukong and Terra nerfs that I really wouldn't have called. A little bit of steel nerfs. Very slight some heroes like Sparrow that I thought would have got hit harder didn't get hit too hard by nerfs. Very slight nerfs for her. Slight nerfs for Sevrong. Just some odd adjustments here. Some buffs to Morn, even though I feel like Morn is already like a clear-cut top 3 support. Some random buff like that kind of stuff confuses me. Nerfs to Quang that may have went a little too far. Nerfs to Gideon. Slight nerfs to like Greystone and Grim and stuff, but nerfs to Gideon across the board, really interesting. I didn't know that Gideon was that big of a threat right now. Some buffs to Decker that I'm looking forward to trying out. Looks really fun. And some buffs to Boris that I really don't think he needed. And that's about it for the balance changes. Looking forward to this patch. Looking forward to Legacy, man. Legacy, it's going to be fun. Based off the mechanic changes that they mentioned, it doesn't look like it's going to be too different. We will see how it plays and how the pacing is on it. Hopefully they're not stuck in this whole, we need to make sure every game's under 30 minutes at all costs type thing. We need to make sure everybody rotates to every jungle objective type thing. And just let us play in lane and play a MOBA. Nitro's here to stay. The new Hero Renna looks crazy. She's going to be broken and overpowered just like Yurei was. Just like all the last 15 heroes they've released have been. She's going to be way overtuned. If you want to play her at her full strength, play her at release. Still going to be extremely fun. Check out this hero, this ability overview video linked below. I'm sure this is going to be the best breakdown of her abilities and give you a lot of good gameplay footage. So check that one out. Look forward to 1.7 coming here the 22nd. This coming Tuesday. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for all the support on the live streams recently. We've been having a ton of fun enjoying Pred with the Goons. Come out, talk to us about what you think about 1.7. Come check us out on the day of 1.7's release. We'll be streaming most of the day. We'll have a great time. Keep enjoying Pred, folks. Just keep enjoying Pred. Look forward to enjoying Pred on the OG Legacy map as well, and we will see you there. Thanks for stopping by, and keep enjoying Pred.